Spoilers ahead. So I watched two movies that were directed by the same person who starred in them. And so this is one of two. So Hunting in Venice. After this one, I'm going to review Outlaw Johnny Black. So Hunting in Venice. Investment level, I was very invested. I think it would take a special person to screw up a whodunit plot to the point where I would not be invested in the plot. These movies are always fun for me because although I try to, or even shows like Murder She Wrote, I try to like pay close attention and catch all the clues, but I really never do. So it was a surprise for me when close to when the person was revealed. So the plot of this movie, I hope you've seen it, is essentially a mother who loved her daughter to death. And so in the scene where Poirot was questioning the ex-fiance and he was talking about essentially what a problem the mother was, that was the first time I was like, how far would she go? And then after like a few scenes later when Prowl gets he goes to the bedroom and then the teacup shatters on the ground, that's when I was like, oh, Munchausen by proxy. Although I believe it's now called something else in the medical field. This character, the mother, is absolutely irredeemable. She loved her daughter. Her love for her daughter was all about her. She was extremely selfish, extremely self-centered. She would not let her daughter be happy or do anything that made her happy. But I think her cruelty and the lack of redemption comes in what she did after she killed her daughter. So not only, she did kill her, even though she didn't give her the fatal dose of honey. She did kill her. But her reaction, so that didn't snap her out of it and be like, oh my God, I killed my daughter. No, she went into self-preservation mode because she is all about herself. And she mutilated, desecrated her daughter's corpse with that scratch on her back and then threw her ass off the balcony. Absolutely irredeemable. It was a tight plot. I even had I was a little unsure about the not psychic, medium. So in that scene between her and Powell when she was telling her sob story about being a nurse during the war, her eyes were teary and red. I was like, oh, she is for real, y'all. It's fun for me. I was like, oh my gosh, she is for real. But then in that same scene, afterwards, like, she gets up and there's like a shift in her tone, like literally, like her tone gets lighter and she's like, lighten up. And I was like, oh, maybe she's not real. Because even with like the display of the tricks, I was still considering that she may have had a gift. The exchange that stayed with me after the movie is when Pearl was like, it's coming from the basement. And the mom went, there is no basement in this house. I was like, oh, do y'all believe that she didn't know about this basement? Because I don't know. I mean, maybe like, it's the late 40s. Maybe she got this house. She was like, oh, it's a relic. Like, it's old. It's valuable. I'm not going to have it like really appraised. Because I think Powell did have to break down a wall to get to the basement. So maybe she really didn't know, but I found it unbelievable. And I also can't believe that she wouldn't get rid of every single last trace of honey in that house after her daughter's murder. But I think Powell himself was well written. What I love about and what I appreciate about how they write this character is that he is affected by his cases. Even a case such as this. We know Poirot doesn't believe in anything except the truth, but he was affected. I think he will gaslight anyone who brings it up to him. Anyone he meets, in his life journey about like ghosts and spirits and stuff like that. But he saw that damn spirit drag her mother down to hell. So I like that. Like he experienced the supernatural, even though he has the excuse of being drugged via the tea or being poisoned. I think part of him walked away believing, not that these people are fools for having faith or believing in spirits or an afterlife, but like, maybe there's something to it. Personally, not for him. He's not going to lead with that, but I like that. Like, I think that makes for a great character rather than him pompously walking around thinking everyone else is stupid for whatever they believe or whatever they think. And he's right because he's so logical and so smart. I do have to give a shout out to the siblings who were dreaming of going to Wisconsin, America in 1947. If they consciously made the decision to have just the sister be excited, and they chose to not have the melanated brother be excited about moving to America in 1947. If they made that choice on purpose, I clocked it. Because I'm like, good choice. Because it would have been so cringeworthy for me to, like, did people, like, I like history, but I don't know much about like that time period. Like I know like Jim Crow was raging. My question is about the rest of the world. I know Hitler took his inspiration for, Nazism from America, and how, the Americans were from white supremacy and how they were treating black people over here. Did the rest of the world, aside from Hitler, not know? Because she was just like, no one's sick in America in 1947. No one's suffering. No one is suffering? Because your brother is about to be suffering. Like, he's not black, but he is dark, and they're about to get his ass when he gets to Wisconsin in 1947. So that part to me was just hilarious, because I'm like, is it a dream? Is it? When it comes to cinematography, I think they nailed it. It's funny because at one point while I was watching the movie, I was like, this is supposed to be like a Halloween, like haunted, blah, blah, blah. And yet it is more well lit than other movies who are not Halloween movies, but who do like shoot scenes in the dark and I can't see shit, especially like fight scenes. So I think it was very well shot. Every shot I think added to the creepiness and the suspense for me. They had like the tight close-up shots looking at the characters from the bottom up, shots looking at them from the top down. Even the tracking shot where the camera was like on Poirot's face, like a video game. Well, like a video game, like looking further down the hallway and then on Poirot's face, like as he's moving and tracking him. That worked. That kind of shot can be jarring for me and can take me out of a scene or out of a movie. I don't know why it worked with this. Maybe because when it was on Poirot, the immediate background was like blurred out. Maybe that helped, but it didn't feel like video gamey to me, or like, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but like cheap or like kitschy or anything like that. It worked and actually made me more like anxious about what was coming next, because my point of view was so limited. So it worked. I think the movie, despite being released close to Halloween, and obviously playing into the Halloween aspects with the ghosts and the hauntings and all that stuff, it stayed in its lane. It is a murder mystery, and murder mystery has suspense and all that, but it didn't go too far off into, like, there's no horror, really, I would say. I only jumped once when that chandelier fell, and I think it's because I was looking away when it fell, so the sudden noise shocked me and scared me. But that's about it. I think it's a very, very, very solid movie. Very, very solid third installment in the series. I think it's more solid than the second one. So if I had to rank them, I would rank them Murder on the Orient Express, A Haunting in Venice, and then Death on the Nile. If y'all choose to make a fourth one, I will be there and sat. Let me know what y'all thought about A Haunting in Venice. Bye. And how you would rank them. Okay, bye for real.